Good morning. This is Thursday, August 6th, 2020, and I wanted to go over a news-driven trade. So, this is a NinjaTrader 8 30-second chart of the Micro ES, and the event is obviously the unemployment number at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 8:12, we see a first. This is the yellow dot is the time warp long signal. The green arrow is giving you the direction, and the yellow dot gives you the timing signal. So at 8:12:30, we had a long signal that worked out. 8:17, another one. 8:21 is coming into this number. It's all longs. We see price had gotten down. It pulled down this morning to about 3,300 and then started to bounce. But we started to get the signals at 8:12. So 8:12:30, that's your first clue that we're looking for longs. Another thing, we could look at the rotations. The rotations to the upside since around, well, there's been a shift. In other words, you had rotations to the downside and you had downside movement, direction, momentum into 8 o'clock. To around 8:06, you see the rotations are stronger to the downside. Then around 8:06, there's been a shift. See rotations now that buyers have taken control. Rotations are to the upside. As far as the magnitude of the move, all the way into 8:30, and then you have the unemployment number. You have the bigger move. So you had a lot of warnings. Hawkeye was showing positive order flow here. You didn't really have any volume signals. The volume, cumulative volume delta as well on Bookmap was very low. So from a volume perspective, you wouldn't know anything. Or from a timing and directional perspective, you can see that buyers have taken control. So let's actually see if we can zoom in a bit here. It might be harder. Okay, yeah. So here is when you want to take this trade. So you want to go long, obviously. 8:20, 8:30, you have a setup, a long setup. You get in right when the 30-second bar closes, and that would be... Yeah, it's kind of hard to see on this. It is hard to see because there's a lot going on here. But anywhere between 33.05 and 33.06 or so, right? You shouldn't get very much slippage at all. The movement wasn't very fast. And the stop would be at the yellow dotted line, which is... I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong signal. It's 8:25, 8:28. So 33.05 to the top of the bars. 33.06 with a stop at 33.0450. So if you can get in at 05, you're going to get your stop is going to be either 2 ticks to 6 ticks. Not very much. You can actually load up quite a lot on a trade like this. You'll also notice that wave trend is also showing long signal over here at 8:20, 8:30. You have buyers in control with the rotations. The cumulative volume delta is not really showing anything. Very flat volume. There's no volume. But you are seeing positive order flow. The order flow change happened around, it looks like 8:09 when we went from red to green. Let's take a look at Bookmap and get a bit of a better perspective on the order flow. Okay. So, yeah. As this thing moves, we're not going to be see. So the thing with Bookmap, it really only shows you back 1 hour. Unless you've stored a lot of you paid for, unless you pay for cloud storage, I think there's a way to actually get more, get a bigger time perspective with Bookmap. So 8 o'clock, we see correlation. The blue line is the micro NASDAQ. The orange line here is the is it orange or is it? Yeah, looks orange or brown. That's the micro Russell. So they're both trending down, and then there's a switch around 8:06 or so. Everything starts to correlate and trend up. NASDAQ has been pulling the ES and Russell up last couple of weeks from what I've seen. So we see over here that the green line is the aggressive buying versus the red line, which is aggressive selling. So buying is definitely starting to overwhelm the selling at around 8:20. And CVD doesn't start, the volume doesn't start to pick up till the number comes out, and that's at 8:30. And that's the yellow line, that's the CVD. Okay. So when to get into this trade? So from a Bookmap perspective, we see that the velocity delta has become positive. That's the pink and blue line. Across the zero line, which is the white line, at around 8:27, 49.50 or so. It went up very steeply, which is very, that's a clear buying signal. And you also see the aggression in the buying overwhelming the selling once again at around 8:27, 8:27.50, 8:28, and then 8:28.30 was the time warp signal long. So you had like a minute or so to get ready, to get prepared, to get situated, get your stops in, get all your contracts in, and then boom. So what drove this is, I don't know if it was the news. I mean, the news was positive, but you did see it within the order flow beforehand. You did see it within the trend, and you did see it within the timing, that it was looking to move up, and the news kind of maybe just helped it along. So taking a look at the unemployment number, so forecasted was 1410K, and we got 1186K. So big reduction in unemployment claims. These are government-generated numbers. I don't know how much weight people actually put into them or how accurate they are. But what this trade shows, and basically the trade happens at 8:30 or so, right at 8:30. You get a huge spike of about, where are we? This bar is starting at around 3306.25. So it's about 4 points in like a few seconds, which is pretty big compared to the price action we had previously in the half an hour before. So what I take away from this trade is that when you have timing and direction in your favor, and you see buyers are in control, you can see it by the rotations, you see order flows in your favor, you're getting long trade signals for the last basically 20 minutes before the number, and then the number comes out. It's a positive number. That's usually a setup for a long trade. It's what I'm seeing here, and it's what I've seen in the past. Okay, that's all.